Whoa! Hi folks! CC the cat's out playing in the living room or dining room. We have a wadded up old paper sacks and the cats like to play in those. Okay, this video, I went back through several pages of statements Paul said. And people continuously, especially from other channels, bring up verses where Paul agrees with what Jesus said. But you keep forgetting, he's all things to all men. When he was around James, and James ordered him to pay for some people, some other guys, to go through to prove that you're obeying the law, he did it. He also circumcised Timothy, when in Galatians and Ephesians he condemns circumcision. See, you will not look at those verses and deal with them. You will find the verses that you pick and choose and agree with. See, when I'm looking and testing the character of a person, I look at what they're saying. Is what they're saying consistent, or is it not consistent? Let me give you a perfect example. I want you to deal with this in the comment section below. If you disagree with what I'm saying about questioning Paul, then you tell me what this is saying. Colossians 1, verses 15 and 16. He, Jesus, Yeshua, is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. Jesus is the firstborn of all creation. For in him, Jesus, all things in heaven and on earth were created, things visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or powers. All things have been created through him and by him. That's what Paul says and believes. Now, if you know anything about Apollo and Zeus, he's exactly quoting a, I lost my thought there, a pagan Greek god philosophy. He is saying that Jesus is the creator of you and me and Adam and Eve, and he is actually technically our father. That is what he's saying. See, people will argue with me all the time, but they will not deal with these verses. Galatians 3:19b. Why then the law? And it was put in place through angels by a mediator, which is Moses. Colossians, 2 Corinthians 3, 7 and 7b. This goes along with it. Now the ministry of death carved in stone. That has got to be the Ten Commandments. What else can it possibly be carved in stone? 7b, which was being brought to an end. Paul claims that the eternal Ten Commandments that was written by God's finger was put in place by angels. This one really gets me. To me, this is blasphemy. Colossians 1:24. I really would like to have people deal with it. If you're pro-Paul, how do you deal with this? How do you live with yourself? Colossians 1:24. I am now rejoicing in my suffering for your sake, and my flesh I am completing what was lacking in the Christ's afflictions. Look it up. Look it up in the Greek words. That's what it says. Paul is making up what was lacking in the sufferings of Christ for the sake of my own body, that is the church. Remember, it's his gospel. He's your father. If you claim Paul's gospel, then his gospel, he is the father of you. He says you have not many fathers. In my mind, Paul claims that Jesus failed on the cross concerning his punishment. So Paul took it up. Now you might say, well, it's a metaphor or an analogy or something like that. But he's saying that Jesus was lacking something on the cross.